Anthony on Air podcast back for another episode brought to you by our good pals over at Hero Soap Company. Link in the description. More on them in a second. Frankie C is here. How you doing, my man?
Doing all right, hanging in there. How's yourself?
Doing pretty good. We have a few things to discuss on this podcast, but we're going to start with something that I think is pretty interesting, and that we're going to talk about the Titanic, by the way, sequel, not the movie. We're going to talk about Bernie's Mittens. We're going to talk about the Simpsons, another Simpsons prediction. But I want to start with this because I think this is interesting. Are we going through right now? Is the mood of the country? Are we in a Trump hangover at the moment? And let me explain what I mean by that. It feels like we were on a crazy Vegas bender, like the Hangover, right? Just partying hard for 4 years with news stories. I mean, news, like just one thing after the next. Did you hear what he did here? Did you hear what he tweeted? Did you hear what he said at this? Just like this, like just railroad of a hangover weekend for 4 straight years. And now we're a couple of days into the Biden administration, and it feels like eerily quiet.
See, I don't know about hangover. I mean, usually the thing leading to the hangover isn't super stressful and irritating.
No, but you know
ridiculous.
What though? I felt
that
this
might be ridiculous.
I felt this way in 2016 when he won. The next day, walking around, going to the deli, going to the store. People were kind of walking around like very quiet, very reserved, very like, what's gonna happen here? Like we did it. We elected the game show host guy that says little crazy things. It was like that kind of feeling. And now I feel like there's something that's not exactly that, but kind of similar, where it's kind of like, I don't know, like we had this huge thing for such a long time, and the election and then the Capitol thing, and it was like news, and every second something was happening, and now all of a sudden it's like it's just quiet with a little flame of Bernie Mitten memes. Like that's the only thing.
You know what it is? This is the first date after you've been with your significant other for like 4 years. You break up and then you go on a first date. You're a little unsure about yourself.
Right.
There's little tidbits of semi-interesting stuff happening, but you're grabbing at whatever you can grab at.
Yeah.
Like the Bernie gloves.
Yeah. Like
you're trying to get a feel for each other.
It's a little strange. Like, there was a representative in the House that already introduced articles of impeachment against Bernie. See, Bernie stolen the show against Joe Biden.
Bernie and his damn gloves.
You've got Bernie and the Mittens that are like anybody wants to talk about,
which
since the inauguration.
That's the kind of story that if that dominates the headlines, then I'm a happy person.
Well, what's interesting is that really nobody's talking about Joe Biden right now. Like nobody's. People are
talking about Joe Biden. He's doing all sorts of big things.
Listen, he signed 17 executive orders. Okay, 17, and I kind of know about it, but not really. I feel like every time Trump got on a plane or a helicopter and his hair flew up, there were 30 million articles in 2 seconds, and tweets and
because
retweets.
He constantly tweeted about it,
and then the media would tweet about it, and then he would go back at the media and tweet at them. It feels like when your drunk uncle gets incarcerated. I don't know, maybe this is just personal to me, but like when your drunk uncle gets incarcerated finally, and you're like, man, remember when Uncle Joe would be here getting drunk and turning over tables and screaming at Aunt Meg and doing all that whole thing, and
Yeah,
everybody would scream at him and he'd scream back at them, and it was, now we don't have that.
yeah, but when he finally gets incarcerated, it's like, well, this is probably best for him.
Well, not for my
In the
Uncle
long
Joe.
run, this is going to do him some good.
It didn't go down that way for my Uncle Joe, but let's not get too personal
Oh,
here on the show. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. There's this feeling I feel right now where it's kind of the feeling of like, remember, remember when we were trashing hotel rooms and doing coke off of hookers, and in the 80s, and then we were wearing grunge outfits and doing coke off of hookers in the 90s, and then all of a sudden it was Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake. It feels like we just hit the Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake moment of the 90s. That's what it feels like
I
right
remember
now.
being a lot. I remember being alive in the 80s and 90s. I don't remember being early career Robert Downey Jr. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember that part of my life at all. But
Yeah.
hey, if it happened for you, good for you. But no, I know what you mean. It's, you know what? We're coasting now, and the political stuff should not dominate our heads. So it's a little bit page two,
I
which
actually
is what it was before Trump. One thing I'll give Trump is that he made it more popular. He made politics a little more popular, which, maybe it needed to be. But right now, you know, there's no controversy. There's no constant. What's the word? Constant. Uh, Not controversy, but
Constant Contact. Sign up for a free trial
scandal.
right now. Oh, yes. Yes, correct. Scandal would be a good word for it, not Constant Contact. Yeah,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. You said something interesting there. Trump brought politics to the forefront, but it was also the right time for it. It was when the people wanted it. It was when people, it's weird. Like Trump needed the country. The country needed Trump. It was this weird thing
The
that,
country didn't need Trump.
well,
You're not going to convince me of that.
that's not what I mean, but I mean like one needed the other, kind of a weird. It was it was an interesting dynamic that I feel like only could happen at this time with these entities. You know what I mean? I don't know if this would have happened 4 years later or four
I
years
think,
earlier.
yeah, I think you're right in the fact that it was like we've peaked in terms of like reality television and reality show things. Like we went to the peak of, all right, we made a reality show person a president. That was the pinnacle. That was the top, and now we're on the way down. It started with like Kardashians and Survivor, and then all this reality show stuff started getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until we elected a reality show star president. And
Right.
now it's on its way back down.
And it's interesting too, because even if you look at the arc of reality shows, what they started as on MTV and then Fox and then all that, and then it migrated over to cable more, where every cable network had to have that anchor, reality show. And then that kind of moved into YouTube and vlogs and people just doing it themselves. And then that was the thing that spurred Internet 2.0 with Twitter and everybody, constantly, and Instagram, and, doing many little reality shows and documenting their own lives and everything. So maybe this was that zenith moment of that time, where that one of those people Trump was around before. Trump was popular before reality shows, but kind of hit that reality show wave, rode that second wave on the internet, and took that and took it all the way to the top.
I think without reality television and without that sense, like without his show, I don't think he gets elected in 2016 without his reality star presence.
Of course not, because he couldn't. He had talked about running before. He had created that early buzz that he created that time. This time it stuck, and this time it worked, and he rode it all the way. And I think it was because of that base he had on the TV show.
I think it helped.
And on Twitter and his appearances on Fox News and all that stuff. But let's be honest. The country the media, love him or hate him, insignificant, it was and is, I feel, obsessed with Trump. And now it's kind of like,
Well, he was the president.
no.
If he wasn't the president, no one would give a crap.
No, before that, before he was the president, and this is why he worked on reality TV, he had that X factor, whatever it was. We have been obsessed with Donald Trump
to dominate.
Not to that level. Agreed. It took it to a whole new level, but we have always been interested in him for the longest time.
Sure.
You know, he was always in Page Six and, you know, pre-internet stuff. He was one of the players in the game that was famous for not being really famous, you know, not for being a businessman. How many people were famous for being a businessman? You know, that list is very short. Very, very
It was
short.
all image. You know, it was all gold in this and Trump Taj Mahal.
Right.
And, you know, it was all the image he put on and the books and
the lavish, but we were obsessed with it.
Plus the scandal too. Not only the businesses, but Trump University, Trump Steaks, Trump whatever the hell. He was just selling himself, you know. He was selling an image, and real or not, he was selling an image.
And every late night show host, Howard Stern, the Today Show, all of those places had Donald Trump on because he was a great guest. And
here we go. Frank's favorite subject. Come on.
I don't mind talking about him.
He would bring in great results. Jay Sab's joining us now. Janine, we're talking about there's this hangover in the country right now because we've been doing coke nonstop for an entire crazy Vegas weekend, and now it's Monday morning and we're back to work, and it's this like eerily quiet like thing. Like I feel like that's what's happening now 2 days into Biden's administration. We're over this like this whole like we've been just running and gunning and news this, and there's just been all this stuff, and now it's really sort of slowed down. It's quieted down. Go ahead, Frank.
My view of that is the hangover was a 4-year hangover, where it like because the stuff leading to the hangover is usually fun and exciting and crazy and wild.
No, but my point, you know what I'm saying though. Like I'm saying, we were on this hyperdrive of like always news, huge story, everybody tweeting about it,
nonstop craziness,
just all the time. It was a topic of conversation. And we're 2 days removed from that, and I feel it already. Like I feel the difference.
It's back to boring town. Another old white man taking over in the White House. I mean, come on.
Well, he was an old.
He doesn't even know how to use Twitter.
But Trump was an old white guy.
Trump was an old man too. They're like 2 years apart.
What I was saying, with the point I was getting to, Janine, as you came on, was we're obsessed with Trump. The country has been for a long time obsessed with Trump, and the media was obsessed with Trump.
Even other countries are obsessed with Trump.
That
is a fact.
We wanted to know what he was doing, where he was going, what he was wearing, and then when he became president, it was what did he say now, and what's his new policy, and it got heightened even more, and now it feels like, again, 2 days in, it's just this weird. It feels like we got off coke.
It feels like back to boring town. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
You think other countries are making fun of us now? Not so much.
Are you surprised? We went through Wednesday.
I will 100% take boring politics.
Wednesday, Wednesday the inauguration happened. He got on the plane, Wednesday morning? We have not heard from him in 2 days. Are you surprised?
Yes, I am.
I'm surprised. I thought.
Why though? Like, what do you think he's doing
how
now?
Would we hear from him?
I just thought we would have seen something. I don't know. A press release
on YouTube. Wait,
he can't tweet.
YouTube still? Yeah, but he can use other platforms. Like he can use his website to upload a video.
Not Facebook or Instagram.
Where did he say that?
Sure.
My wife is saying that he said something today about troops using his hotel.
Oh yeah, he did say that they could use his hotel, but the ones that got.
Where did he say? But we don't know
out.
where he said that. Okay. Yeah, because he's got no Twitter. I know it's so strange.
I love it.
You know what it's like? It's like the whole world is blocking their ex-boyfriend right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's like,
That's
know
a
what?
great
You're
way
not
of
going to
putting
get in touch with me this way. I'm blocking you from my Instagram. I'm blocking you from my Twitter. I'm blocking you from my Facebook. Okay?
Yeah.
The only way you're going to get to contact me is if you tell one of my friends who tell me. And they're not going to even tell me.
Exactly.
Is it maybe that thing where you're like when you break up with an ex and then you're kind of like, you're better off? Not to say that we're better off without Trump. I'm just easy conservative people. Don't scream at me. But like when you break up with your ex and you're better off, but like
you can be honest, Anthony. We are.
But you want to see what they're doing and you want to see what they're up to.
Like 3 or 4 days after, you're like, oh, you just miss having somebody around when that sets in, when you're like, oh shit, I'm alone. That's kind of what this feels like.
I don't see
like
it that way.
The
We're not
crazy
alone though. That's the thing. We just got into a big relationship with a new guy.
Boring.
See,
which is fine.
I'm not coming at this from a.
Should be boring.
I'm not coming at this from a political angle. I'm coming at this from
just saying in general.
We got off the roller coaster and now we're just kind of walking around the park looking for the next thing to do. It feels a little strange because
my favorite part of the park.
It's a little strange.
We were in this hurricane for the last 4 years, and it's not Trump's fault. I'm saying we were obsessed. The media, everybody was obsessed.
The media was
with
extremely
him. Obsessed with him. Like even the haters.
Because he was the president.
Yeah, but
that's fine. I don't care what the reason is.
Obsessed with him because of how outlandish he was.
The reason doesn't matter to me. The reason is completely insignificant to me. It's the truth that we were obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
No, of course we were obsessed because he was outlandish and at the same time the president. If he was outlandish on his own, nobody would care. Like Gary Busey is outlandish. Nobody cares. But if Gary Busey became the president, suddenly we'd pay more attention to Gary Busey.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
I'll tell you right now, there's a possible chance that he could become president.
If we keep saying his name, it might happen.
Right.
Yeah.
You say three times, he appears.
Right. In 2016, August of 2016, we went to Europe. And I remember being in Barcelona and them talking to me. Where are you from? And the guy was like, can I just say this? How is Donald Trump running for president? And I was like, you were like, yeah, right. He's like, how did he say it? Because he said it in Spanish to me. He's a reality TV star.
Exactly.
How is he going to become president? And he's like, America. He just went like this, America. And he was like,
thank you.
Like, yeah, that's true. But it was just funny because he just said, like, on the TV there, they would show clips of him in The Apprentice and then show him on TV, like, doing his rallies. And it's funny because it's so true. Like, every other country was laughing at us, basically. But they all have their own, political.
Everybody's got their own
whatever.
Issues. Yeah.
But you're right.
Absolutely.
Because I think that had a lot to do with it too, that he was like a reality TV star. He was big in New York. I don't know how many states out of New York really knew him, I think he was a name in New York.
Well, to your point, and I was touching on this just a bit earlier, in New York from the get-go. Once he got The Apprentice, I think it was a little bit more nationwide. But like I was saying before, like Page Six and all these things, like everybody, he was part of the scene in New York City. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, because when I was little, you know how they used to have
Yeah,
like
but once he ran for
someone.
president,
Oh,
No, before all that, dude. Before president.
I
Before
know. But go ahead,
apprentice.
Janine. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh nope. I don't know if I'm glitching out or you're glitching out, or the both of us are glitching out.
You're both
It's
good. Go
me.
ahead.
I'm delayed, so if it sounds like I'm interrupting anybody, I don't mean to be interrupting.
That's all
I
right.
just I'm delayed by like a couple of
All right,
seconds.
we don't have to get the explain. Get to the point, Janine. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I always knew who he was, and I forgot what grade I was in, 5th grade. You know how they have someone come and read like a book to your class?
Yeah.
Um, what's her name? Marla Maples came and read a book. I'm not
For real?
kidding you. For real. And I was actually on the news for a little bit, like, oh, I'm so happy that she's here.
Because
I'm
who
not
the
even
hell
kidding
was who the hell was she other than Trump's wife at some point?
She was on Broadway with some kid who I went to school with. So he asked her,
Oh,
can you come to my class to read this book? And yes, at that time she was with him. So that's
Wow.
why it was pretty funny.
wow.
Okay.
Right.
But I can
To have my
remember,
little third connection.
like I can remember when we went to, I don't even know who was there, but we went to Atlantic City one time, and this was at the beginning of the Apprentice hype, the very very beginning. And he showed up. We were at Taj Mahal, Trump Taj Mahal, and
Ooh.
he
the
showed
Taj.
up. Yeah, and he showed up, and I remember they were introducing the Apprentice, slot machine. And
Really?
yeah, and he came. He landed in a helicopter. We saw him land. Like
Oh, you saw him? You were there when he was there?
we were there when he was there. We weren't even trying to see him. We were just like, we looked out the window. There was a helicopter landing. He friggin' walks
hysterical.
out, goes down, into the lobby. We went into the lobby. We were like, what's going on? They're like, oh, Trump's here to introduce the new Apprentice slot machine game. We were like, oh, okay. And the people that were working there were like, yeah, this is the height. This is like, because they kind of looked at us like, isn't this why you're here? And we were like, no. But that was like the height of his like popularity in Atlantic City, because things had cooled off after he initially invested there, and everybody
Right.
knows everything that happened there after that. But
Ooh.
but yeah, I mean it's a but am I alone in saying that you feel it, like walking around and just looking at Twitter, like
Like, what is there now? What is there?
Yeah, it's calm.
Bernie
I don't
memes.
need the excitement of we might be going to war with Iran. I don't need that.
You know what, Frank? I do.
what's a
Well,
little
you
war
like
with
that.
Iran, Frank?
I think me and Fam do. Right?
Do you?
No, I don't.
Do you need
I don't.
that?
I don't need
I'll
that.
be honest. I didn't really read his Twitter so much, except when I saw it on other platforms, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta go read this."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was mostly nut job diary.
Here we go.
It was
Comment
retweeting
below.
conspiracy
Comment
theories.
below for Frank.
I'm not. No, I'm just telling you what he wrote.
Yeah, I
Conspiracy
mean,
theories,
listen.
He would just spout lies, and he would just say, "Oh, everybody's against me." That was his Twitter feed.
I don't have an opinion on it either way of whether it's better now. It's been 2 days. I don't think anybody should have an opinion. I'm just saying I'm noticing.
No, but
I'm
it's
noticing
a little
a
easier
difference.
now.
I'm noticing a difference between the 19th and the 22nd. I'm feeling the difference in the air right now.
Yeah, there's
That's
a
the point.
huge weight lifted off our shoulders. Like,
Oh,
we can all relax a little bit
Is
without
it
a
gonna-
nut job at the wheel.
He cannot not take a chance, like not
Never.
swing. He can't not
You guys
swing.
brought it up. I did not bring this up. I was willing to talk about the Titanic 2 and the Simpsons.
I
don't
know,
what you
no,
wanted
I
to
know.
talk
I'm
about.
not
You
saying
brought it
you're.
up.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you can't not
Want to bring
swing.
up Aaron? Get me a drink. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, if you're talking about Trump and how we feel pre and post Trump,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how I feel. I feel a little like, a little easier, a little happier, because I feel less like there's a moron leading the country. That's my honest opinion. You could disagree with me all you want, but that's how I feel.
All right. And you're allowed to feel that way, buddy. You're allowed to feel.
You know, everybody in the comments can be, "Oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Trump was the best." There's zero proof that he was the best of anything.
I feel like the comments represent the country. They're 50-50, which is what I've always found over the course of doing this, is that it's always been 50-50. So people support you. People say you're an idiot. Nothing's changed. It's
That's fine, but the people who say I'm an idiot either make a million grammatical and spelling errors while they say it, or they provide zero
throw
proof
them in jail
as to why I'm an idiot.
Throw them in grammar
They just
jail.
say, "You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about."
Well, listen.
And then you never hear from me.
Here's the difference. I know you're an idiot, but I still support you. So I hope that makes you.
You
feel
have
better.
evidence to support your theory that I'm an idiot. These people just making knee-jerk assumptions.
I've seen you try and put together a puzzle.
Quick jerk.
Listen, people usually go for the corners first. I like to start in the middle and work my way out.
Yeah, it's ludicrous. All right.
That's what you said.
Let's talk about the biggest story in the world, and that's Bernie Mittens. They're
Oh my
Love
god!
Bernie's mittens.
we cannot get enough of these mittens. You know, And
Especially our group texts. Like they're still coming in.
it's all Bernie Mittens memes still to this day.
Now,
Not
if
since
they were gloves
Go ahead.
instead of mittens, would they be as popular?
Absolutely not.
All right. Let me say two things. Not since Wood have we seen a meme explosion like this.
Agreed.
That's true.
I feel. And two, I don't think it was. I think it was a little combination of everything. But to me, the little cherry on top of this Bernie Sunday is his miserable expression as he sits there all huddled up and cold. I think that's why we're taking to this so well. He's so much.
He looks like my father at every party he doesn't want to go to, which is every party he doesn't want to go to.
It's true. You know what's weird? I mean, it's a photo. I mean, he could have made that face for a split second, and the rest of it could have been him. You know
what?
Smiling.
He didn't want to be there. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He was cold.
He was
He's
cold. I
old.
think that was his main objection to the whole thing.
He just didn't want to be there. No. You know how you know he didn't want to be there?
How?
You know how you know?
Because he was there?
By the type of mask he wore. That generic blue and white mask, surgical mask. He put no thought into it.
He didn't get one bedazzled for the occasion?
No, or just like one with a design, a fabric one. He didn't give two.
Here's Anthony showing us
about
as
Anna.
if we all didn't see it already.
I'm just gonna show some while you guys are chatting it up.
So I honestly don't think he wanted to be there, and I don't really blame him. It was cold. It wasn't for him.
It was a nice ceremony. It was cold though, is the thing. It was freezing.
So
and he's an older
blame
man, and he's gonna get cold.
But I do have to say, do you know what he did with the picture?
What?
Did you guys hear about that?
The picture? No.
He put it on a sweatshirt on his website for $45, and all the proceeds are going to hunger something. So you know what? He
Hunger
did a good
something.
job with
Worthy
that.
charity.
He's sending it to charity, the money?
Yes.
Damn it. I was gonna put his stupid face on our shirts.
I mean, you could.
Yeah, we
There's
have.
there's no
for profit,
copyright.
So you're a jerk.
There's no copyright.
It's called the Save the Anthony Fund. That's what what my
Exactly.
charity's called. It's called Ant's got a roulette problem.
But I know that the woman who made the gloves is just some woman, right,
Yep,
in her
in
house. She doesn't
Vermont.
have like a company or business or anything.
She
Just
just
a
made
woman
them
who
for
made gloves out of recycled wool, right? Reused wool.
Mm-hmm. I saw that story.
And
too.
she got a bunch of orders from them and then sold out of them.
Yeah, so she tried to start selling them again when she saw the popularity of it all, and then she sold out right away. That's the story.
That's hysterical.
So
She could be a
she should have
millionaire from
raised
this.
the price. She should have raised the price of that.
She should have, but Bernie's giving the money to charity. He's not giving any of the money to her. I feel like she should get a little cut of all of this.
I don't think so. No, just her. I'm just the charity.
I don't know if
It's
I
not
like
just
that.
the gloves. It's Bernie, too.
It's the whole thing. It's the whole, and it's like those gloves. You could just see Vermont on those gloves. Like that's, by the way, for people
Yeah.
in other parts of the country, that's how Vermont people dress. Like exactly like this guy. Like,
And they definitely smell like marijuana. Like, there's no doubt that they smell like marijuana.
yeah, they don't have.
When I picture,
They don't have wool
No
in
problem with
Vermont.
that.
They only have recycled wool. I mean, and there's a lot of things like that there. They don't have the actual thing. They have what somebody else used of the thing, you know?
Right.
when I picture Vermont, all I picture is just one big snowy mountain and just a bunch of houses just,
That's it.
on that mountain.
You're not wrong.
That's all Vermont is.
And Bernie sitting there
And
with
women
his
with big
gloves.
bushes.
Yes, that's also true.
Okay.
I'm it's awkward because my wife is here, but I can confirm all the women in Vermont have huge 70s bushes. That's
Definitely.
confirmed. Yeah.
I think that's on their flag.
We have huge bushes.
Yeah. And they also make
license plate.
gloves out of recycled
Pubic hair.
bush pubic hair.
Nice.
Wait, no other state. No
Don't
other
worry, they
state
wash
can
them
compete with our women's bushes.
That's why when you go, is that glove made out of women's pubic hairs? People from Vermont go, no. This is made from recycled women's pubic
Yeah.
hairs. Oh,
And you know what? Their state flower is just a woman's bush. That's it.
Oh, Vermont. Vermont. Well, to all our Vermont listeners and viewers, we love you. Send your hate mail.
I actually do
this
like
way.
Vermont a lot. I do like Vermont.
It's beautiful. Who wouldn't love it?
Did I ever live there?
I mean, you go and ski there. You rent a cabin,
Right.
and then you come back.
I just love how right now the Canadians are like, oh, I get this now. They're making fun of somebody else. It is funny. It's good. Yeah.
Oh, it's not really nice though, right? Because I'll definitely say that.
Well, the thing with
Well, that's
Vermont
not
is
nice.
Vermont's filled with Canadians that were just too lazy to keep going north. That's the problem
Yeah,
with
that's true.
Vermont, you know?
It's just too cold for some people. Oh, nope, Canada's too cold.
Yeah.
Just stay down here where it's -10 instead of -20.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, let's be honest, like maple syrup's kind of Canada's thing, but Vermont's like, you ever have Vermont maple syrup? And we're like, yeah,
Right.
all right, I guess so.
Okay.
Let's do your maple
Maple
syrup.
syrup knows no borders. I mean,
Right.
it's right there.
Yeah. I don't know. But Vermont is beautiful. Where does Eric live? Is that Vermont or New Hampshire? I can't tell the difference.
Burlington.
Vermont.
Yeah.
Okay.
Burlington? Yeah.
By the way, nor can
I'm not
anybody
sure it's
tell the
Burlington.
difference between Vermont and New Hampshire. No, I bet you half the people, if we showed them a blank map, would get
Let's
it wrong.
get this map out.
Yeah. Who knows if it's on the
Hell's
right
a
or the
Hampshire
Wait, where did we go? Did we go to Vermont this year? Where did we go?
this year.
Rhode Island.
You
we went to
Rhode
Island.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's
Basically Vermont.
right. I forgot. Yeah, Vermont, Rhode Island, New
Yeah,
Hampshire.
Rhode Island is considerably warmer
Who cares? Is it? It was gorgeous when we went.
than Vermont. Sure.
By the way, we went away for a weekend in that beautiful little window that we had when all the numbers were at like 1% and people were like, I think we might take a trip this weekend. Like we actually did, and it was nice. We had to do the
So
math.
you guys are part of the problem.
I'll be going away in 2 weeks, so I'm part of the problem.
You know what's so strange? There are still people, here we are, it's almost February. There are still people who have not left their house.
I think I would have died. Sorry, no.
Like
I could not.
None
You
of
gotta
us
admire that.
none of us are going out and partying hard. But I feel like the average person is going to the store and going to work. A lot of people are going back to
And
work.
seeing their friends, going out to dinner.
I'm sure there are people. I'm sure not everybody has just stayed. I mean, you take a walk. You can go outside. I mean,
No,
it's not
yeah.
like
I mean, they've
people shove
gone,
into that.
they've probably gone shopping maybe once a week. But I think there's people that literally go shopping once a week and just go back to their homes and they're in and that's it. And it's so bizarre because like you go down to Florida or Texas and they're having comedy shows down there,
Yeah.
I bet.
Actually, so is New Jersey. New Jersey is
I-
doing them now.
I bet
Really?
if all of us did that for 3 weeks, the numbers would be slashed into a fraction of what they are now.
Yeah, maybe.
Or we get herd immunity.
I'm just
Oh,
saying
you
it's
mean like if we didn't go out? Okay.
I'm saying
If we
it's
didn't
so
go out, I mean, yeah.
it's
cannot do
it's
that.
just so strange like the whole because I was literally looking at somebody's Twitter the other day and they were saying how they have not left the house since March of last year. They have not returned back. They're still working remotely. There's nowhere else to go, really. They go to the store, they get their groceries, they go back home. Yeah, like they take the dog for a walk. They're doing all those things, but they're not even, there was a time in the summer where
it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but there was a time in the summer where, Frank, we were getting in the car.
I'm not saying I did it.
No, what I'm saying,
I went to a restaurant when the numbers eased up a little.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like everybody at some point kind of like, we were going out and eating in the car just to kind of like get out and do something. Like, but there are still people that have really not even done that. And it just,
that's crazy.
It's crazy.
I guess people who like could get sicker easier.
Yeah.
Or if they have other conditions, but I could not do that. No way.
It's just,
elderly people.
It's bizarre looking back on it now that it's close to a year now, and it's still going on. Dave Chappelle, by the way, tested positive for COVID. He was doing a residency down in Houston, Texas, home of Joe Rogan, and every other comic that Joe Rogan is convincing to move to Houston, Texas. And he was with Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, and Grimes. They were photographed together. The rest of their residency has been canceled right now. So I think he's doing fine. But
now, like not for nothing, I would risk having COVID to hang out with him. Not gonna lie. I know you would too.
Yeah, I would.
I know you would too. Come on.
If I
knew he had COVID.
Yes, come on.
I wouldn't hang out with him if I knew he had COVID.
Yeah, me either.
I'd make out with him if he had it. I mean, I'm with Frank.
I might share a drink with him, but I'm not going to spend the night with him.
Who was with me?
Who
was with me? I was at the Comedy Cellar, and Chappelle came rolling in. Were you with me, Frank?
No, I was not with you.
Did we go together?
I don't know, but I was there. I was lucky enough to catch Seinfeld one night, and I caught Chappelle one night. And
I love the Comedy Cellar.
Chappelle was great.
My wife went there once, and Robin Williams performed one night.
That's awesome.
As a surprise, she loved that story. That's a great thing. That's so cool. Just it wasn't planned. He just showed up.
That's the best part.
Yeah, those are always so good. So Bernie's Mittens, I think that's gonna be a thing for a while. He keeps
will that get old after a while, or will that be like a year from now? We'll be like throwing up Bernie's Mittens memes.
No, I think we're still gonna do it. I think it's still gonna be popping up.
I mean, he definitely stole the day.
Day.
I
people forgot that Biden was president.
Landslide.
Yeah.
I mean, because there are memes that stand the test of time, like that jealous girlfriend meme.
Yep.
With the guy turning back. That one is still relevant, and that one is still popular. Is this Bernie meme going to stand the test of time?
They go into the meme Hall of Fame. I think this will be in the meme Hall of Fame. Yeah, I do.
There should be a meme museum.
There should be
a meme museum.
Don't tell our secrets on the air. There's thousands or millions of people listening.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah,
I love
patent pending.
I friggin' love Meme Museum. Memes. What did you say? Say it again. Meme Museum.
Yeah. Meme
Museum.
That's great.
That is just photos and the origin of them and the year they came out and commentary from the people in the meme.
And the entrance is Mr. Wood. You have to walk through his legs right into his penis. I love it. I love it.
It's like the windmill at a golf course, at a miniature golf course.
Yeah.
You got to avoid it.
his schlong just hanging like this.
Yeah, you got to somehow avoid. But it's like foam rubber, so like if it hits you, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But you just got to avoid it somehow to get it.
I don't mind it.
I think that would be great. And the music is being played by Piano Cat. Is that really a meme? That's not a meme. That's a GIF.
Yes, it is. It is.
GIF.
It's a GIF.
Right.
That's true. There's GIFs and memes. They're both great. They
great.
Are. It's weird though.
I have an amazing GIF.
In the meme museum, you have to exit through the gift shop.
I hate you, Frank. I hate you.
I hate how much I laughed at that too, but it was really funny.
Me too.
Thank you. I think this is a winner. I think we make this place. I don't know how the hell we do it.
That's it.
I'm just the idea guy. You guys execute it. I'll give you ideas all day.
I personally like my own GIF. I know you're not really supposed to promote that. It's where I'm dancing to a Britney Spears song, and I'm wearing Donald Trump here, and in the back I'm wearing Hillary, and I turn around and dance to both of them. I mean, it's really funny, that one.
Where's that? I've never seen that.
It's on Facebook.
All right,
like 4 years
When
ago.
did you do this? From when?
4 years ago. I'll send it to you guys.
All right, send it on over.
I think we open the show with it every show.
Speaking of other super ideas, we are getting a Titanic 2.
We are. And it's not the movie. It's the actual ship. They're making an exact replica of the Titanic. Now, this was an idea that came about in 2012, but due to budgetary things and battles and stuff like that, it was put on hold for many years, but they're finally going forward with it, and it's going to set sail in 2022.
Ooh.
Yeah, exact replica of the Titanic.
I want to go.
Exactly. So what's going to happen is it's going to actually go the exact route that the original Titanic went.
Really? You're shitting me.
I'm 100% serious.
It's going to hit the exact same iceberg, too. It's going to be fantastic. Everybody's going to love it.
I like that.
I'm telling you, this is a real thing. It cost $500 million to create. Let's see. Reportedly have the same cabin layout as the original. It will carry 2,400 passengers plus 900 crew members. Almost the exact number as the original.
Ooh, I like this.
Maiden voyage will sail from Dubai to Southampton, England, and then to New York, taking the same route as the original back in 1922.
This is so crazy for
12. Wasn't it 1912?
I don't care.
I thought it was 1912.
This is so crazy for a plethora of
for some reason.
This is crazy for a plethora of reasons. And one, we don't need this right now. Like the fact that
yes, we do. Something to look forward to. Definitely gonna jump on that.
Pushing your husband off a floating door? Is that what you're looking forward to?
Like, not for nothing. It's a sexy thought.
Yeah.
Something exciting about it.
Wait, who's your husband in the fantasy? Is your husband Leo, or is your husband the other guy who's mean?
Or is it your actual husband?
Oh, definitely not my actual husband.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to know what the Janine fantasy is. Is she
it Billy Zane or Leo DiCaprio?
Yeah. Who does your husband play in the fantasy?
Well, between those two, Leo, obviously.
Okay.
Billy Zane. Wow. No, what happened to him?
Yeah, what
did Titanic, and that's pretty much it.
We had enough of his shit.
Like, my husband now used to watch that movie all the time when we were younger. It wasn't even me who wanted to watch it. He'd be like, "Do you want to watch Titanic? You want to come over and watch
it was
Titanic?"
On all the time.
No, he used to play his DVD.
Do you remember when you had to play the? I had the VHS tapes, and you had one VHS tape would end, and you have to take it out and put the second one in.
Nice. You're showing our age here, Frank.
How fucking old are you?
We're old.
Jesus Christ.
I am 10 days older than you, you jerk.
What did you do after you switched to VHSs? Did you go outside and crank your car started? Is that what you did?
First of all, I had to make sure the fire was still roaring.
Right. Did you have to go in your car and turn the key? Ew.
That's true. Nobody does that anymore. Do that.
Oh, shit.
I drive a 2010 car, so I still turn a key.
Here's the weird thing, though, too, with this. The economics of that boat aren't even plausible in today's cruise industry.
No, definitely not.
No.
So why are they doing this? That was one of the big
problems. It was, if they're doing an exact replica of the original Titanic, one of the problems was it only had 3 propellers, and it couldn't manage fast turns. It couldn't make quick turns.
Yeah, but I'm saying
was why I couldn't avoid the iceberg.
The amount of people that you said were going to be on the boat is like 1/10 of what goes on a small cruise these days.
How many workers?
900 workers, 2,400 passengers.
Like on a regular cruise ship now, there's like 2,400 crew members, and there's like 7,000 passengers.
Well, I've seen pictures. I'm not sure how accurate, but I've seen pictures of the Titanic compared to a regular cruise ship of now, from now. And a regular cruise ship is like quadruple the size. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want to go on this. Give me money and I'll go on this. Anyone listening? Okay.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll give
Maybe.
you money. Okay. You have
we
to go.
Broadcast live from the Titanic too.
I will not be there, but you guys can, and you have to go in the winter. That's my only.
Hopefully.
Oh, why?
Hopefully they have more lifeboats than the original.
Right.
Another problem.
I'll tell you
Here's
what.
5 lifeboats.
I tell you what, though, I bet you that Rose Suite would be expensive as all hell.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know how many people are going to go on this thing like dressed like the people from the movie?
Oh,
Yeah,
I would definitely do that.
that's true.
And there's going to be so many like themed nights, like
Guilty,
you come
Yara.
dressed as the people. We'll have someone draw you.
Oh,
there's gonna be all
yes,
kinds-
yes.
There's going to be a bar where you're dancing on the tables.
Oh, that's what I do pretty much every night.
You are not
If it
allowed to
wasn't
make
COVID.
fun of Frank anymore for Star Wars, Janine. You're basically, this is your little Star Wars. You're so excited about this.
Yes. To tell you the truth, as soon as we get off this phone call, I'm going to go Google this and put my name on the waiting list. Thank you.
Book it. I'm sure it's probably, I don't know if it went on sale yet, but if it did, it's probably sold out. I don't think they put anything on sale yet.
I don't think they're ever going to actually build this thing, to be honest with you. I just don't
think
see
so.
it happening.
Okay, let's see.
You know what I think this is? I think
Go
the
ahead.
marketing geniuses over at Titanic 2 looked at this and said, the world is so quiet right now because Trump left. Let's put this out there and we'll get some publicity.
1,000%.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong? This one was built. Now the original was built in Ireland, so it set sail from Ireland, went to England, then
That's what
started to
possibly
go out
went
to New
wrong.
York. Now the new one is going to be built in China.
Oh, that's what possibly could go wrong. Hello.
Hey, China builds some good stuff.
Do you remember? See what I'm saying? Do you remember when we used to say China? Remember those days?
China, Gyna,
China.
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 Yeah.
China virus. China virus.
It's weird. Feels weird now. We don't
It's
say.
like I haven't heard that in so long. You used to say that?
Yeah, isn't life a lot better since you haven't heard that?
No, it's not as
Especially
entertaining.
if you're Chinese. The word China virus might not be your friend at the moment.
China.
China.
You know what's funny about that?
China.
I could see Chinese people obviously having an issue with that. I have not. No, it doesn't seem like I saw anybody really like scream about it too much.
Right.
And I think that's part
When he
of
first said it, there were people being
when he first.
there were Chinese Americans being harassed.
Yeah, but it was interesting because like even that would get like overshadowed by whatever happened 15 minutes later. That's
Exactly.
that's the way that world was.
Yeah, doesn't make it less wrong.
I remember he said it like a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I was like, "Is he still saying that?" Like, I thought
He did say it.
Yeah.
Didn't he say on his
but
like when he left his speech?
He
said China.
He might have. That's like sometimes when he would like pull out like Sleepy Joe or something about and it'd be like, all right. We kind of heard that like 50 times already.
I think it's hysterical.
It's it's like an old band from the 70s, and they, you just want to hear China Grove.
Like
and
Metallica?
Go home. He's playing his greatest hits. No, they are not from the 70s.
I am
Do
shocked.
not put them in the same scenario as Donald Trump.
I am shocked we haven't heard
They are
from him
not
more.
from the 70s, first of all.
I'm shocked we haven't heard from him more. Shocked.
I know.
That we haven't what?
Like really heard from him.
Yeah.
I am not.
When do you think he comes back? We can't go 2 weeks without not hearing from him.
No. We
can't.
physically cannot go 2 weeks.
I mean,
Bam.
let's talk about this because I really do believe the way I believe that a president should be there at the inauguration of the next president, no matter what. I really do believe that the president that leaves should be quiet the way the last 30 presidents have been quiet when the next guy takes over. So I believe he
Good
should
luck.
stay quiet, but I don't believe he's going to stay quiet.
Also, what happens is when the new president is in and the old president is out, do you care for the most part what the old president has said?
If
Yes.
it's entertaining, 100%.
Like when Clinton left office, did you give a crap what he said?
Yeah, no, not what he said, but there was every now and then where I would think about the president who just left and be like, I wonder what he's doing today.
Yeah, right. What's he up to?
Yeah, what's he doing?
Yeah, as a passing thought.
What's Obama up to? Right.
Like I
You know,
think
he's attending inaugurations.
I feel like
I'm
you're
making videos with Clinton.
I feel like you're always coming down from this huge high when you are when you're the president, and then you're not. That has got to be a fall like no other.
Ooh, your ego.
I think it's a relief, but I also think it is an ego punch for a lot of them, where it's like, oh, there's not somebody here to wait on me, or oh, I can't believe I forgot about this.
He's still.
I don't know if it's
He
true.
still has Secret Service.
I don't. Yeah, I know, but that's like, you know, he doesn't have. I don't know if this is true, but I am a little bit of a nerd. I like to see what the new guy does with the Oval Office. I always Trump, Biden, Obama.
You mean the Coke button? Aren't you getting there? Aren't you?
Supposedly, he had a button on his desk, Donald Trump,
Yes,
Fake
he
news.
did.
that he could press, and somebody would bring him a Diet Coke. Is that true? Is that really true?
I mean,
I don't know if we'll ever
That's
find
true.
that out.
it was 100% confirmed, but
That is true.
pretty funny. Now, do you wish you had a button
amazing.
at home
Listen to
that
me.
anytime you press the button, your
Listen to
wives
me.
would come and bring you a Coke?
Anybody, even Frank, let's hope he does, but even the worst Trump hater can admit that that's a smart move. Like, that's a baller
Yes.
move. Like, you know what I need?
Absolutely.
I need a fucking Diet Coke button on my
No,
desk.
the
please.
baller move. The baller move is having a mini fridge.
No.
A mini fridge
No.
in the Oval
No.
Office.
You are so
No.
wrong. You are so wrong. That's a smarter move
Telling you.
for us average people. But when you can do whatever you want to be able to. The only way he could have made that better is if he picked up a little bell and like rang a little bell, and somebody had to bring him a Coke. That's the only way you could have made that more.
I used to have to do that to my old boss for coffee, though.
Yeah. We'll bring a
I'm
bell.
not kidding you.
There was a button he would press, and you would have to.
No, he had. Well, it was it was a button, but it was also a bell too.
And then you had to get him a drink.
Yep,
That's
I'm not even kidding you.
Listen, it's pretty shitty for the person who has to go get it. Like, there's no doubt about it. I don't know who the butler was on the White House staff, but I'm sure, like, in the locker room, they're like, "Hey, everybody, look, Diet Coke's here. Like, it's, you know, get out of the way. Here comes Diet Coke. Here's the important, you know."
Get out of the way!
Yeah.
Pushing people out of the hallway. Now, Frank, it'd be different. What about if it was Snapple
What do you think?
or Arizona iced tea? Then you would be in.
That doesn't matter
You
what the
would.
drink is. Whatever
would
the
be
drink
Sna-
is
It would be
doesn't.
Snapple for me, but I would have a
Oh.
mini fridge stocked up.
No,
No, you wouldn't. That's a lie.
you're the president. You don't need a mini
I
fridge.
don't
You
want
need someone
someone-
to come bring it to
No,
you.
no.
Knocking down
No,
10
I don't
people
need
in the
that.
hallway
Here's-
to bring you that fresh.
Here's why you're wrong, because you're like, I got to put more Snapple in my mini fridge.
Right.
I gotta
You
do
gotta think
this.
about it.
I got to.
No, I would have someone stock it.
No. But
No.
but then it's all the way on the
But I don't need
bottom, and you
someone
gotta
walking in and out.
lean over and kind of get it. You don't have
Yeah.
time to deal
Yeah,
with that
I
shit.
don't mind leaning over.
No, I can't stand you. I think you would, if this was anybody else, you would love it. You would just love the idea. Like, you have to admit, it's a great idea.
It's a good
It's
idea.
an idea, but you know what it does though? It makes the person bringing you the Diet Coke just insignificant. It's
Yeah, it
like,
does.
Who is it?
It does.
Is it his secretary? Who the hell?
No,
who's bringing him
supposedly,
his Coke?
as the story goes, I don't know how true this is. There was a dedicated person.
Oh, that's even
That's
better.
all he did.
There was a Diet Coke guy. That was it. That's why I said, like, whoever.
That's ridiculous.
I'm sure he was the worst staff member. I'm sure the manager of the butler service had to be like, "Oh God, who do I put on Diet Coke?" But then again, on the other hand, clearly he's got guy's got two buttons, the nuclear button and the Diet Coke button. Maybe you don't put the worst guy on it. Maybe you do got to put somebody important on it.
You think those buttons were close together? Like, whoa.
Which one do I press?
You think somebody knocked on the door like,
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch
Sir,
a tiger by its toe.
Sir, we have the nuclear codes here for you. Like the what? Huh? Oh, no. Cancel that. Just bring the Diet. I hit the wrong button. Forget it. Bring the nuclear codes back. It's not a big deal.
Just for the people in the comments, we know it's not an actual button, so relax.
I think the Diet Coke button was a button, though. It was, right?
The Diet Coke one is. The nuclear button, it's an expression.
Cuddles, who's becoming the producer extraordinaire over here, says it's confirmed that there was a Coke.
There was a Coke button.
I love it. I'm sorry. I wish if I was president, I would have a Starbucks button.
Oh, yeah. Get that Starbucks. Right? Oh, my God. If I was president, I'd have the Starbucks button, but I would have somebody just intravenously just knock it right in my veins. Put it right in my veins.
You don't want to taste it? That's
what she said.
I think you can taste it when it's in your veins. I don't know.
That's what she said.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that either.
I think that might be.
That's confirmed too.
I think the Diet Coke button might be the greatest part about his presidency. With all due respect to the people who are loving the peace in the Middle East thing and the, all my Jewish brethren, I respect all of it. But the Diet Coke button, I just feel like
that's up there.
That's tops.
That's up there for me too.
Yeah, that's tops. I can't believe and any of the other ones didn't have. I'll tell you what I would do though, because it's kind of cool to have it on the desk, but it's also kind of cool to have it underneath the desk, like that alarm that the bank people hit when they're getting robbed.
The silent alarm.
Yeah, that's kind of you just because that's what you do. Just what Janine did. Sorry for the podcast audience, but you do this. Somebody walks in, you're like, "How you doing?" And you just kind of you give that look while you're hitting it. You just give that little.
I have to show you now. You'd think it would be just a little button or something. This is the button. It was literally next to his telephone.
I saw that too.
I don't know if you could see it.
It was the size of a 1980s payphone on his desk. Yeah.
Hey, he wanted to make sure he hit the button.
Block of wood.
Yep.
That's what she said.
That's the button.
How long into his presidency do you think he was like, excuse me, can we get a button on the desk?
Day 3.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna be hitting, the speaker button and asking you, instead of me literally asking you and having to say, please get me a Coke.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hit a button so we can avoid all communication altogether.
Do you think he hit the button when people were annoying him, like coming to speak with him in his office? You think he hit it like, oh, sorry, I got to get this, and made it really dramatic? He got up to get the Coke.
And they go, Mr. President, I know that's the Coke button.
Or like,
President, I know you're hitting the Coke button. I'm not an idiot.
When you're pitching him something and he's listening, he's like, oh, yeah, okay. No, that's good. And then he just hits the button and he's like, oh,
sure,
keep going. You're like, oh shit! I was pitching him this great idea I had, and he hit the Coke button. Do you think like the secretaries were panicking when they saw like Diet Coke Butler walk in and go, oh shit, that's the 6th Diet Coke today. We're in trouble. This is gonna be a bad day today. People freaking out.
I used to get like that too.
It's 9 o'clock and he's already ordering Diet Cokes. This is a problem. This is gonna be a long one today.
I wonder how many he had.
I've been there.
What, Frank?
How many he had in a day?
I wonder how many
at least
Diet
4.
Cokes he had in a day.
4.
I'll tell you what, the Diet Coke people.
See, that might be semi-normal.
No, but I'll say this: the Diet Coke people, and I know this firsthand because I'm married to one. They're worse than Coke addicts, like real Coke sniffing addicts.
I know. Actually, I came off Diet Coke 5 years ago.
That must have been difficult.
It was. But you know what I can't wait for? The book, the tell-all book from the Coke guy. Right? Hello?
Yeah, that's going to be that's exciting.
Ooh.
I'm signing up for that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. That guy has inside knowledge, man.
I feel like Lifetime is lining up to put together that movie right now. Be like, we got the Diet Coke guy. We got his rights.
Do you think that he had it with ice or just
It's called
plain?
his finger was always on the button.
Oh, Janine asks a good question. Do you think he put it on over ice or drank it straight out of the can?
Ooh.
Say it
know.
again.
What kind
I
of
missed the
guy are
question.
you?
Do
you think? Go ahead.
I like a good glass. Give me a good glass. I don't like drinking out of a can. I will, but I don't like doing it.
With ice or with no ice?
If it's out of the can, it's got to be ice cold.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do
Or else you put
ice.
ice in it.
But do you think he had a straw? Do you think he had a first straw? Presidential straw?
I'm gonna say no. I think he went completely ham on it and just had no straw. Just
get me a button.
Air Force straw.
Get me a button when I press it. Air Force straw is good. That was way better than my impression.
Thank you. Saved you there.
I loved it.
Do you think he strategized that where on the desk the Diet Coke button needed to go?
Next to the phone at all times possible.
Look at how much fun we're having with this. Look at how much we miss this man. Do you see?
I know. See? I mean, come on.
See, but the Diet Coke button is so, non-threatening, so we could talk about it and have fun.
Yeah.
But I think, what I would like to know is if he used a coaster on the Resolute desk. That is a piece of history, that desk. And there's probably Diet Coke rings all over that freaking thing. I'm telling you, it's got to be.
Or he might have used one of those like stay cold cups. Poured it in there.
Like a Tervis?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh.
That's amazing.
Or the other one.
I think he's a straight from the can man.
All right.
Yeah, probably is.
You think he just threw it across the room when he was done? Crumbled it up and just threw it?
Here's what I'm shocked about, though.
The floor.
This is what's shocking. Is that he only had one button. Because once you get that Diet Coke button in there, you kind of want a quarter pounder button too, don't you?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no like McDonald's button.
Yeah, like a little fries, like
I'm
a little.
sure he had a regular order.
Like you don't mean to tell me that somebody at some point brought in just like 2 McNuggets just to give him a little quick, like here you go, sir, just get through your day,
Yeah.
He probably
like
had
a
that
bump
on a
of
regular
cocaine.
schedule. It was probably like 10 o'clock. Everyone knows 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is nugget time.
Do you think that was the thing? At 2 o'clock, Diet Coke had to bring in a couple nuggets for him just to get him through that little afternoon lull?
He's like, I'm going to need a 6-piece today,
I think Diet Coke man had a schedule.
I'm going to need a 6-piece.
I got my Diet Coke.
6.
I got my
There's
6-piece.
no way he stopped at 6.
You think he insisted on the toy for the Happy Meal? I think he did.
Maybe.
I think most of the desk drawers are filled with McDonald's toys. That's what I think.
Oh, man.
And old crushed Coke cans.
All right, last thing, Frankie C. The Simpsons, did they predict something else here on Election Day? Kamala Harris was wearing purple, and the photo of Lisa Simpson, is that right? When she becomes president?
Yeah. Lisa Simpson, in an episode way back in the day. This is like, I don't know if you could see it. Is that clear?
Sure.
Yeah, it's all right. We know what Lisa Simpson looks like in purple.
All right. So wearing the exact same thing, basically. Back in the day, it was like in the early seasons of The Simpsons. Lisa flashes forward in like a prediction, like she goes to see a psychic, and it's when she becomes president. And in that episode, it's literally her following the Trump administration.
Yep.
So in that episode, she goes, "We inherited a big budget crisis from the Trump administration," is one of the lines from that show.
Is that right? And when was this show?
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
They've predicted a lot
90s.
so far.
This was in the 90s.
Yeah, I was going to say in the 90s.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she's wearing the same dress that Kamala Harris wore on the inauguration day.
Wow.
That's crazy.
With the pearls and everything.
That's crazy. That is crazy. By the way, Frank, can you text me that? That's absolutely.
Text you that? Sure.
Yeah, text me that picture. That's absolutely insane. That they said after the Trump administration.
Yeah, she took office after the Trump administration.
Wow.
Lisa.
Damn.
Boy, I hate to follow up a fun opportunity with like a fact, but do you know why she wore purple at the inauguration? What?
Because Lisa Simpson did?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Because Lisa Simpson wore it in the episode, and she wanted to have this nice little tie-in. That's exactly why.
Yeah, I definitely think that.
Aha.
No, Shirley.
That's a possibility.
Shirley Chisholm. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
You got it.
She was the.
I'll bet you're not.
What? Shirley.
I'll bet you're not saying that right.
Yeah, I don't think I'm saying that right. She ran for president in the Democratic Party. She ran to get nominated in the Democratic Party in 1972. She wore purple while she was doing it, and so that was a nod to Shirley, which is why Kamala wore purple on that day.
That's nice.
Yeah. So.
Okay, not a nod to Lisa. Okay.
Yeah, they say so. Hillary wore purple when she did her concession speech in 2016, and people thought it was like a red and blue. You mix red and blue together, trying a unity thing, and it could very well may have been. So
way.
there's that theory on it too. But what's holding true is there's this female empowerment thing, and they knock it back to Shirley, and she wore purple, so that's why they're going with purple. So there you go.
Okay.
Little factoid for
Cool.
you in the show. Why end with a huge laugh and a joke when you could end with a little fact that
See, you learn
myself.
something every now and then on
yeah,
this show.
I guess so.
You're right.
But I hate it. I would have preferred a joke. All right, that's it. You guys got anything else? Oh, we never did our Hero Soap read.
I need a new internet.
Go get Hero Soap because they're really good. And
Like really good.
Frank,
Oh yeah.
I'm going to give you an assignment, Frank. I need you to go through the Simpsons and see if they ever predicted Hero Soap Company taking over the soap world. I feel like it's probably in there somewhere.
Probably not in the early episodes.
Yeah.
But maybe.
Look for that logo. Link in the description
Maybe.
below. Order up some soap for yourself. 20% off a subscription with the promo code ANT. That's it for us. J Sams and Frankie C. Next episode will be coming to you live from the site where they are building Titanic 2. It's going to be very exciting. A lot of banging noise and a lot of rivets, but we'll be there, which will be nice.
It'll be riveting.
Be riveting. Exit through the gift shop. Let's all remember exit through the gift shop.
Bye.
All right. Have a great one. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Title this episode that?